Hello and welcome to Introduction to General Purpose GPU Programming in CUDA C. My name is Shaurya Singh and I'm going to be your guide for the next couple of weeks as we learn this language. The prime motivation for learning this would be that GPU programming has become very prevalent nowadays, and it's solely because of GPU's capability to perform massively parallel computations that makes them outperform CPUs every time. This finds application in high performance numeric computation, or in more coherent terms, fields like deep learning, computational fluid dynamics, structural analysis, engineering simulations, and so many more things. Another motivation on my part for making these lectures is that I couldn't really find CUDA resources online, especially in the video lecture format when I wanted to learn this. And I really thought that it would be a good opportunity for me to learn too while teaching others. And that's about pretty much it. So without any further ado, let's just get right into it. So the first question that comes to our mind is that what is CUDA? CUDA is nothing but just an extension of C language. It's been made by NVIDIA. It enables us to basically differentiate whatever our source code is into two forms, one that would run on the GPU and one on the host or our computer. This GPU code is able to exploit its architecture, the parallel architecture, and hence we can perform fast computations. So let's just start with an example. Alright, so I don't think anyone who would be familiar with C would have any problem at all with CUDA. So we'll start with the basic include statement. And that's standard. Now here I'm going to define a kernel function. Please do not worry, I'm going to explain everything. Alright. So what happens here is this quantifier that we have added, global. It helps us differentiate what functions are going to be executed on our GPU versus the normal host functions like the main here that would be executed on our host or the computer. To call such a GPU function, we have a very specific form of this kind. Within these angular brackets, these ones, you shouldn't really be concerned about them right now. I will explain them in a next or the next other chapters. I mean, for now, just think about the arguments. This takes none over here because it's a void type here in the parameters, and that's just a call to the GPU function. And like an example of a host function would be here printf, and we can just print something. Oops. Hello world. And if we compile this, I think this should run without a hitch. And there we go. So this did execute on our GPU, although it was pretty trivial and nothing was there. Let's make it a little more interesting by making a program that adds two numbers on the GPU, of course. We'll make our addition function, and its parameters would be two variables, int a and b, that we would pass by value, and another one that would be a pointer. Now this is a very interesting thing. As you may have seen, I'm just declaring the void type functions here because most of the kernel functions are going to be of this type. To return something out of these functions, we really want a pointer, like a pointer to some memory that would store our result. Like this a plus b would be stored in some memory, and the address to that memory on the GPU, that address would be returned to one of our host functions or to our host basically. So the return type for this function is like an int. Some of the functions that are made for CUDA have return types that are of the type enumeration, when they return a success code or an error code. So like if a memory allocation failed, it would return CUDA error memory allocation, or if it's a success, it would return an enumeration of the type CUDA success, things like that. For now, let's just be concerned that the return type of this function is an integer, and that's how it works. So we can then just define a variable C here. This is going to hold the value on the host. Alright, so let's just comment out a little bit here. So this is a kernel function that is called on, or rather executed on the GPU. Then we can even add this line here. Is like a pseudo return type. Okay. Among other things here, this is gonna be holding our. Let's comment it here. Hold the result on the device. Sorry, on the host. And similarly, we will make one for the device, which is going to be a pointer. All right. So the next thing we need to do before we actually go into invoking our function is that we need to allocate memory on the GPU, and that is going to be done through a method called CUDA mem malloc. Sorry, malloc, CUDA malloc, that was the one. CUDA malloc. This method is pretty much similar to what malloc method is on C, but there's like a few subtle differences here. So the first argument this CUDA malloc function is going to take is the device pointer, and the way this is passed here, I'll make it clear in a bit. And the second one is the size that we want to allocate on the device. Alright, so CUDA malloc first takes let's discuss the second argument first. It's much easier. Size of an integer is pretty straightforward. The parameter type is of size t, and it takes the number of bytes that we wish to allocate on the GPU. There is no restriction so as to what we want to allocate in those number of bytes. It's just that we need to pass a number here, and size of integer is just a convenient way of allocating the same amount of memory needed for an integer here. We could even pass like a 4 if for this program it was like 4 bytes. Alright. Now the first argument is much more interesting and complicated, and you would want, if you have a good knowledge of pointers in C, it would really help you here. What's happening here is, let's see, we are passing a reference to devc, a reference to the pointer. So it's something like there's an address that points to the pointer devc. Okay, there's a big difference. Like devc would essentially point to something, but we are passing the address that points to devc. So it's a way of passing that pointer to the pointer, and this devc then is dereferenced within our function and then made to point to the GPU memory. So devc holds the address to a pointer that would point to some GPU memory. It's like that. And this is just passing a pointer by reference here. So pass a pointer by reference, then allocate the address of another pointer that's on the GPU to that pointer, and that pointer on the GPU, it's pointing to the memory. So that's the way we're gonna do it here. And other than that, CUDA malloc is going to like return among one of two things. It's gonna be, let's just stable, like make this a little standardized. I mean, I can't really have two different kind of comments here. All right. So CUDA malloc is going to return either CUDA success if it's a successful allocation, or it's going to return CUDA error memory allocation. These are enumerations, like of the types, like I'll just specify the type here. It's like CUDA error underscore t. This is the enumeration, and these are the two kinds, like success or memory allocation. There's a lot more kind of errors, but either of these two could be returned by this. So if we want to like do an error handling mechanism, we could actually have like an if condition here within which we could have our allocation call, and if it returns success or like an error code, then we can just return or do something else. So we could do that here, but since it's a simple program, let's just keep it that way. Other than that, the next thing we want to do now is to probably call the function, since we've allocated memory for it. So this was our old function. Let's just make changes here, all and whatever. The name is addition, and let me just tell you that this little bit here within the angular braces is something to do with parallelism that we will get at later. Let's pass 3 and let's pass a 12 here, and then we can, lastly we wish to pass the place we wish this result is stored at, and that would be the device pointer. So that would add this thing for us. Now our result is stored on the GPU. The last step would be to retrieve it back to the host, for which we use this function known as CUDA memcopy. And as the name suggests, it's used to copy between memories. It can be done host to host, or device to device, or device to host. And as you may have guessed it, it's gonna be device to host here. So the first argument for this is going to be the destination where we want to copy. And that's gonna be the address for the, since it takes a pointer form, it's gonna be the address for this thing, our variable C. Next is gonna be the source, which is our pointer on the device, and other than, I think it takes the size of the data being passed, and lastly it takes the direction. So it's going to be CUDA mem cpy device to host. This is the one. So it would be like host to device in the other case, or device to device. So if we make a mistake here, like we mix, or rather I should say wrong source and destination, then destination, yeah, then it would be like an error code, or it could even be undefined behavior. Usually there is an error code on what do you say, wrong direction, like if we do a host to device instead of device to host, and otherwise it is like if we make some mistake in kind of memories or pointers, it's undefined behavior. Okay, so the hell is the spelling of behavior? It says undo typing. Or let's just call it undefined. To hell with it. Alright, so we managed to do a mem copy. Now we just need to print what result is there, and that should be straightforward. We had done a 3 plus 12 equals %d and C. Lastly, I would also say that we need to free the memory that we allocated on the device, because it is essentially C. C does not do the garbage collection for us, so we need to call a CUDA free here to deallocate the pointer on the device. And we can remove this statement here, and that ought to do it for us. Let's just run this, and hopefully it should work fine. And here we go, we have managed to actually perform a computation on our GPU for the very first time, and that's the result. And if really I should specify anything else, you should really look up the CUDA API for whatever we have discussed today, because it's really worth it to know how what the enumeration types are, and the semantics of how CUDA malloc, CUDA memcopy, and free work. But other than that, I think there's not much left to explain for this tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.